All right, Rio, thank you so much for taking some time to chat with me today.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
And congratulations on your latest EP, Good God.
Oh, thank you. That was so exciting to put out. I've been making this whole project for over like well over a year now. So
Right.
it's been a long time in the works, and I'm really glad that everyone gets to listen to it and see what I've been working on.
For sure. And can you tell us a little bit more about the concept and inspiration behind the album?
Sure. So the entire album uses gender neutral language,
Okay.
which like upon writing these five different songs over like months and months and months, that wasn't like the intended concept. But like at the end of the day, when I put everything together, they just all seemed like a really good pair for each other.
Mhm.
And so that is something that like I think is super fun because I think there's too many straight love songs in the world. And I always feel like when I hear other people's queer music that's like overtly queer, it's just nice to have something that I know is meant for me and applies to me. And so that's a big thing behind it. And then another thing is it really just details like a storyline of like love and loss as a queer person, which like everything that's written in there has really come from the heart, and it's like actual true feelings that I have had. And so yeah, it really just like is a arc of like, you meet someone and you're so fascinated and you're
Yeah.
so enthralled, and then you're like really serious, and then things get complacent, and then at the end of the day, like you would rather be with your partner and fall in love with them all over again rather
Mhm.
than not know them.
Yes, exactly. And this EP also includes some previously released tracks, is that correct?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Okay, what made you want to revisit those songs?
So the previously released track on there is Twice,
Okay.
and I think that that is genuinely one of my best songs, but I don't think that the way that I recorded it and the way that the whole finished product turned out really highlighted what the emotion behind it was supposed to be. And so that was first released on my album in 2018, Obnoxious Liberal the Musical. And I think that revisiting it, like, you know, oh my gosh, how long has it been? 4 years later. I think that's really made a difference because I have become such a better singer and piano player, and I have such a
Mhm.
stronger artistic and musical vision at this point. And so this song is a lot like grittier, it's a lot rougher, it has a lot more power and energy behind it. And I think that it really just conveys this sincere feeling that I was trying to put across, but I
Mhm.
didn't really have the tools or the knowledge to do so when I first started making music.
Gotcha. Awesome. Well, how has Good God been received by listeners so far?
It's been received pretty well.
Good.
I think my favorite thing that people have been talking about is the cover art, which I am incredibly proud of because it's like me, how I normally look, like all butch, and then me in like a blonde wig and like a full face of makeup
Yeah.
and like this tight dress that I only literally have that one dress and no other dress. Um, and so putting together the whole visual concept for the album has been really fun. And I think that the people, like my fans, really appreciate having some some visual food.
Yeah, definitely. Well, what do you always hope audiences take away from your music?
At the end of the day, what I hope that people take away from my music is just to be able to like accept themselves.
Mhm.
That's the goal of everything that I do, is to be able to have like radical queer and self-acceptance.
Mhm.
If my music can make you feel a little bit better about who you are and where you are in your life and what you want, I think that I have accomplished my goal.
Yes, perfect. And have you always had a passion for singing and songwriting?
I have, yeah. Ever since I was a little kid, I was so annoying, and I would like my brother. I would drive my brother insane. I would like walk around the house singing and stuff. I started playing the piano, or sorry, playing the guitar and singing when I was like a freshman in
Mhm.
high school, and that was the first time I like learned how to play an instrument. And then I really got into the piano when I was 16, and then I went to theater school for set design in Chicago when I was 18, and I had a lot of free time screwing around in like piano rehearsal rooms. And so that's when I really taught myself how to like have the sound that I like with an acoustic piano in those rehearsal spaces, actually.
Cool, cool. And how would you describe your overall musical style and aesthetic?
That is much debate
Okay.
in the internet. I think that I kind of lean towards cabaret punk or cabaret blues.
Okay.
I know it doesn't technically fall under like punk category. It's not punk music, but I think with the word cabaret and punk just juxtaposed together, I think it makes a little bit more sense and it draws a clearer picture of like this is cabaret, but like a little bit more rotten.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, who are some of your biggest musical influences?
My by far my biggest musical influence is Freddie Mercury. I think that he is so amazing. I'm
Yes.
obsessed with Queen. I think that he has such a vision and he's very theatrical in the same kind of vein. He's like an escaped theater kid like I am. Like he did theater all growing up and then like after he went on the like the craziest rock legend life ever, he like started making operas like near the end of his life, and so that's so cool. I think that he's such a powerhouse, and that's the kind of artist that I want to be, is unique and powerful and conveying a message and just making people feel good, because that's like what his music really is.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, you either feel amazing or it's helping you work out why you're not feeling amazing.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, can you talk a little bit more about your experience as a butch member of the non-binary community in the music world? Has it been challenging?
It has been challenging. I have like been navigating the music industry over the past 2 years because I really didn't have any kind of like music career before 2020.
Hmm.
And so over the past 2 years, I've been talking to labels and management and really just trying to like get in the music industry.
Hmm.
And it's been incredibly difficult for me. And I've even had managers tell me straight to my face, like, I don't know what to do with somebody that looks like you. Like, I don't know what to do with
Yeah.
who you are. And like, I understand it and I'm not mad that they said that, but it is very discouraging to hear because it's like you're different and I can't market you as a sexy woman and I can't market you as a hunk of a man.
Yeah.
And so what am I supposed to do with you if you can't be sexy in those two ways? Uh and so yeah, it has been pretty difficult, like finding the right team and the right people to work with just on
Mhm.
like the professional side.
Yeah, exactly. Well, even though we've made so many strides within the past couple of years, why do you think there is still that wall, that barrier for artists like you?
I think at the end of the day, it really comes to an experience
Okay.
from people that have been in the music industry for 40 years and they've just never worked with somebody that looks like me.
Hmm.
And I think that, you know, change is scary and people don't want to take risks. That's also a big thing, is that people have told me that it would be a big risk to work with me because they just don't know how it's going to go.
Yeah.
And I mean, like Adele had those same problems as like a fat woman, you know, like she had a lot of issues finding people to believe in her just as somebody that didn't fit the status quo in that way. And so yeah, it's that same kind of thing, as people
Okay.
are scared.
Yeah, definitely. Well, do you think by having that kind of vulnerability and honesty and being open about yourself like this, do you think that's important for artists?
I think on my end, I enjoy being open and vulnerable and honest with people, but I also think that artists have the right to their privacy.
Yeah.
And I think that everybody is allowed to talk about what they do and don't want to talk about.
Mhm.
And I think that there is this kind of pressure for everybody online to kind of tell, like, spill everything. Like, I want to know everything about everything. I want to know every single professional thing, every single personal thing, who you're dating, where you live. And I think that, you know, some people are just allowed to not do that if they don't
Yeah,
want to, and that's completely fine. But I do like sharing just
that's
because I
sharing.
like to know that people, you know, are in the same community as me, really.
Yeah, exactly. Great. And now you are trying to empower young people to explore their identities and find a home within themselves through music.
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah, I think that learning how to express myself through songwriting has really been the most important therapeutic tool that I have for myself. I really work out everything that I'm feeling and all of the like weird life circumstances I have through music. And it is very therapeutic to like take a really shitty fucked up situation and make a funny song about it. It's just it's great. And I think that if I can help people either by encouraging them to do that for themselves and write for themselves and create art that helps them, or just facilitating that emotional connection to art pieces that I've made. Like, I think either way, that's great.
For sure. Did music help you with your own coming out process?
It helped me cope with it,
Okay.
because my coming out process was very unfortunate, and it was very messy, and I ended up homeless shortly after. I actually never came out to my family. They just found out.
Okay.
And so I really never got to come out, like, unless it was to friends.
Yeah.
But being able to write music about the situation and have that kind of outlet was incredibly helpful. And I still love the music that I've made during that really, really hard part of my life, because that's
Mhm.
just the most honest, brutal stuff that you can write about. And they're also like really fun songs. Like, it's all a joke.
Well, like you said, music is very therapeutic.
Yeah.
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 Well, what are some future goals you hope to accomplish with your career?
Oh man. Well, I would like to put out a full-length album next.
Yeah.
That's my next step. And then I have some hip issues and like chronic pain issues. So I'm actually getting hip surgery in November.
Okay.
And so after my hip surgery and all of that, like, I should hopefully be fine afterwards. I would really like to go on a pretty extensive tour, but it's just like, with my limited mobility, I can really only play local shows right now.
Okay.
But I think that, like, even because I heard that I'm big with the lesbians in Italy, and I've never been outside the
Really?
United States. So sign me up.
Yeah, so you have to go over to Italy sometime soon.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I would love to travel and just tour a little bit. I think that would be great. And then yeah, those are really the two big things that I'm thinking
Nice.
about at the moment. But it's just, when you deal with like medical problems, it's hard to think super long term, because you don't want to like give
Yeah.
yourself that hope. But
Yeah. You just have to
so
take
I'm
it
just,
a day at a time.
yeah, I'm just a little bit in the future.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Well,
Yeah.
Rio, how can one stay up to date with you?
You can follow me on Instagram. Instagram is for sure the best way to stay up to
Yep.
date. It's Rio Does Everything. Or if you want to see me being silly, you can follow me on TikTok at Rio Does Everything. And then I also have like a newsletter that you can sign up on rioromeo.com. And I have a Patreon as well. Also, Rio Does Everything.
Just Rio does everything.
Yeah, just look at that. You're good.
Perfect. Well, then before
Awesome.
we wrap up, are there any other upcoming projects or anything else you would like to mention or plug at this time?
I actually have some very fun merch that I'm going to be dropping pretty soon.
Okay.
It's I have posters of the album artwork, and then I also have like a bunch of fun shirts, and I actually have like these stuffed animals that have a little teeny tiny shirt with my face on it.
Nice.
And that's so cute. And I'll be selling like pins and stuff, but that's the next big thing that's coming my way.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
Perfect.